Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and Droids, First Order and Hut Cartel Maniacs, welcome to today's video. Don't get too excited. I know you guys love this. We're going to be talking about your favorite bit of Galaxy Heroes, Datacrons! Whoa, not everyone needs to clap at once and hit that like button. My gosh, I know you love this stuff. Jokes aside, I'm a little bit slow to this season in terms of updating it, so my apologies. I had a hard time getting myself motivated to talk about it, but I want to make sure we do discuss it because there's a couple of key Datacrons I think you should put on your radar, and I want to give my summary, the ones you should aim for, in my initial impressions of this current season. And I want to give a special thanks to Pimpo. They sat down with me the other day. We kind of bounced some ideas back and forth, talking about what we think the best Datacrons are. But I'll tell you this. Datacrons are cool now. You can have all the best Datacrons, spend $5,000 on Datacrons, but without mods, they mean nothing. So make sure you get in touch with Pimpo, the mod father, the best modder in Galaxy Heroes, and remod your roster from top to bottom. Great guy over there. Datacrons, there's not an initial pressure. There's nothing as nutty this season compared to the Lord Vader season. The cooldown reductions on Tarkin, Darth Vader, Lord Vader, nowhere near that level. Definitely taking a step down. It's kind of a breather season, but you're going to want to have a couple of key ones if you are engaging with Datacrons. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing an amazing bang for buck level 6 or level 3 like we had with Tarkin, Darth Vader. You only needed a level 6. Really, the really good ones are kind of tied to level 9, so maybe not going to be all that impressive for most people, but nonetheless, infinite Phasma turn meter loop situation. You guys love those. And an indestructible Embo. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for my Embo cultists out there. So I just want to show a few examples, then I'm going to show some examples from the community, and then I'm also going to be showing my spreadsheet and what we updated here. Phasma, I want to kind of briefly show the Phasma potential here. With her level 9 Datacron that she has, it's kind of like Beskar Mandalorian, Darth Malgus, where you have cooldown reductions. And what this is going to mean inside of Territory Wars specifically, I'm not going to be able to show the full potential here. She's going to get infinite turn meter loop. Victor March already gives 50% turn meter. The Datacron gives 15% turn meter. Fire at Will, you get 7.5% turn meter anytime a first order ally gets advantage. So basically the math is looking like this. So you're going to do 7.5 times 5 because 5 people get advantage through Victor March, whatever it might be. 37.5% turn meter plus 15 on the Datacron. Cool. Then plus another 50 through Victor March. Inside of territories with the Omicron, she's just going to constantly pump turn meter through the team. I'll show you kind of what it looks like. Basically what it's going to be the new Lord Vader counter. Let me explain why. But for Territory Wars, which might not be too appealing. But nonetheless, you can kind of still utilize this in Grand Arena. You're just not going to get the 100% turn meter. But again, nothing as bonkers as Tarkin and Lord Vader. So let me show you what this kind of looks like. So you could maybe run a team like this. Honestly, I think all you're going to really need is maybe Phasma lead and Supreme Leader Kylo and maybe like Hux. That's it. You can probably underdog Lord Vader soon. But let's do this. You're going to pass the turnover. We're going to get the cleanse, get the days off us. And then what you're going to do in a moment here is you can do this a few different ways. I think what I'm going to do is, am I going to outrun them? I'm going to see if I can try to push turn meter to our team. There you go. Now, Phasma, she's going to do that. Then you have Kylo. Gonna push more turn meter through you. And then let's see, we're gonna get let's just do the swarm attack right now. All right, then we have Kylo's kind of stuck right now. Can I hold on to that? There's not a lot of reason to use it. You know what I'm gonna do? Let's give this turn over to Kylo actually. Oh, you shut me down. Well, again, you're not gonna see the turn meter loop here because we don't have Phasma lead Omicron activated, but you can see hypothetically outside of the territories, you could probably keep trying to pass turns over to them and try to keep like a loop thing going, but you're not going to quite see it here. Yeah, let's keep picking it up here. More turn meter. Let's see if we can maybe pull back turn meter. Yeah, there we go. Look at more turn meter there. Let's send it in. So you can kind of see inside of territories, you're going to stomp over this Lord Vader Datacron, but it's not going to be... I mean, you can still kind of do it is the point I'm trying to get at here. But it's going to be a lot trickier, that's for sure. Ooh, which way do we want to do this here? Let's just keep pumping turns over here. But see, this is going to be Phasma for you right now. Let's see if... I think I could do this, actually. Let's go ahead. You know what? No. Just keep passing turns over the Phasma. I just want to show what she's like. Yeah, there we go. That should get rid of those guys. Oh, that's probably dodge Datacrons right there for you, unfortunately. How much dodge you got? That's not a ton of dodge. But you got to be careful if your loop breaks for whatever reason, your team falls apart because SOKR does not like turn meter gain. But as you can see, even though we're not in territory wars right now, you can kind of somehow get a loop thing going on. Inside of territory wars, the loop is basically never going to stop. You just got to make sure you actually land your hits. The dodge is there. So that's the thing number one I want to show. I think that's honestly the biggest takeaway for me. Thing number two that I'm going to demonstrate before we hop into some gameplay here. Although Lord Vader, he doesn't need this set of datacrons right now. Eventually, his set will expire. And you're going to probably want something to temporarily replace it with. Well, this is probably going to be the way to go. With Lord Vader, you could probably solo. His power, it's not going to be as nuts as it is right now, but it's kind of like a cooldown thing where he's kind of ramping down from his previous set. But as you can see, every time he's even passively applying dots, you got to be careful of Dasher and Dardos. This is kind of an oddball team here, but when you have all these dots on them, you're going to have tons and tons and tons of bonus protection. And as we're going to see through my list, you're also going to be able to get this on the Dash is being a jerk. He's got his datacron on right now. Again, not nearly as good as other things, but you can see hypothetically, if there was no buff dispeller here, you're going to just you're going to have an indestructible Lord Vader practically if there's no buff dispel. But this also works great for Wampa. I used this on Wampa the other day, and I was able to solo a solo Ray, so which was nice. Able to eat up sudden whirlwinds, able to eat up the ultimate on Wampa. So this is going to be Wampa's best season, I think, for the datacron. They haven't really had a good season, but the damage over time, equaling protection up, kind of does a big deal. But as you can see, Dash right now, we're showing hypothetical stuff. If there was no Dash in there, we probably would have been able to solo that team. So Lord Vader is still going to have something decent after this season ends. Let's go ahead, roll down some gameplay. I want to give a shout out to King Bob. They have this really funny stuff. Some stuff that I think we talked about them in the past. Love the Hondo stuff they do, and they kind of find some other interesting theory crafting stuff. Again, there's nothing going to be mind-blowing, but here they're showing an example of the Phasma datacron kind of doing what I did. Showing a almost perpetual turn meter loop, and I was almost able to beat Lord Vader outside of territory wars. They kind of did up at Eternal. You know, it's not the biggest thing to brag about, but it's another example showing how this turn meter thing is going to work out. Really, other than that, I don't think you guys need to worry about having tons of cooldown reduction Imperials like you needed with Security Primer. With this particular set, it should be projecting power, by the way. Ignore the little typo right there. Jabba the Hutt, he doesn't have an insane datacron. It makes him basically, there's so many turn meter gain stuff going on. So Jabba is going to get his ultimate a little bit faster this season. You have a couple of options. I think it's the nice thing. You know, you don't have to have a particular one. I think the turn meter on the level 3 is good. He's also going to get protection up, which is nice because on the level 6, anytime you apply a debuff, you have a chance of getting damage over time, which gives you that bonus protection. So making the Hutt Cartel even thicker than they're normally used to. And then on the ultimate, kind of several ways to go. There's more turn meter gain, which I prefer, but there's also when the hired muscle goes away, he's going to get his ultimate charge faster. So that's something to be cognizant of. He's not going to have as crazy amounts of bonus ultimate charge like, you know, the Lord Vader set or the Rey set or the Kenobi set, but it's going to be a little bit faster. So again, it's kind of like a Sith Eternal level datacron, nothing too mind-blowing. Captain Phasma went in deep discussion about that, just pretty much having an opportunity to keep getting tons of turn meter. Man, I wish I had the offense up. If I had the offense up instead of the retribution, the Phasma datacron that I was showing would have been even better. Fortunately, we didn't have it. Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, that's probably the one that most people are looking forward to. It's not going to be a Lord Vader type of situation where you're just going to stomp. Of course, it's an extra added benefit. Level 3, I recommend anytime an ally is being defeated, you're getting 50% offense and 20 speed stacking. On the level 6, you kind of have a couple options. I like the damage immunity or retribution's fine for Supreme Leader Kylo. Level 9, you have two options. I say either go for the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren one, where when you get advantage, you're getting extra 3% offense at stacking, or Hux Dominance, so basically having two leads under one, which is nice. And unfortunately, I got neither of them. So let's hope maybe after the next conquest or so, I'll be able to maybe get a re-roll or build a new one to get it. So far, I do not have the ideal Supreme Leader Kylo Ren one. But I'm not too worried. It's good, but it's not as nutty as some other things. The other one that's really notable is Embo. So here's Pimpo. He was talking to me. He went up against an Embo inside. I believe this was Territory Wars. And even with when you have the Omicron and Embo and all this stuff, Embo's nearly unkillable. They would have lost. They had literally 3 seconds left on the clock. And thank goodness Supreme Leader Kylo Ren was able to ramp up their ultimate ability or their stats. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gotten the win at the very end. Basically, with Embo, when you are utilizing Embo, he's going to be able to, well, one, there's a damage immunity on level 6, which is great, right? And then Embo, if you have the level 9, 90% of their health gets converted into the protection. And the craziest thing is, if there was protection, they can't be defeated. That is kind of nuts, if you ask me. And when you consider the Omicron, which you've made videos on in the past, the Omicron on him is just literally next level nuts, making the Hut Cartel incredibly durable, as well as Embo themselves. I mean, look, it looked like they were having a rough time here. Look at Embo, barely taking a hit, always getting all their protection back here. And their damage, they get that bonus damage based off the protection as well. So Embo, almost indestructible. I think if they had any other Galactic Legend, it would not have been a pretty sight, my friend. So, moral of the story, link down below if you want to have access to my updated spreadsheet here. Nothing too nutty, but I think you're going to aim for maybe a Supreme Car run. I think the Phasma one's probably going to be the most important one because you can kind of do some cheesy stuff in and outside of territory wars. Otherwise, you're probably just going to want a couple of extra dark side turn meter ones at level 3, maybe throwing it on a bounty hunter team, for example. Maybe getting one on General Grievous. King Bob showed that the General Grievous versus Master Luke counter is a little bit more consistent now with that extra bit of turn meter. Veers, Iden, Imperial Troopers getting an extra turn meter. Lord Vader, the damage over time. Zwampa, damage over time. And just in general, with Health Steal back on the market, we're probably going to see lots of people load up on Health Steal, and that's always been fun, as we saw inside of Season 1. And, of course, critical damage is new on the menu. That looks like another top competing stat on the data credit. Otherwise, I would not worry all that much for missing out. Unlike the previous season, this was a lot more disgusting with security primers. We're dialing it down, and I think that's the way it should be. Datacrons, I think Lord Vader went too far with the dodges and the constant loops and unlimited cooldown reductions. Weird time, but definitely it's going to be a bit of a slower season, I think. So I think you guys can take a breather, especially if you're not pursuing Conquest all that hard this go around. So thank you so much for stopping by. Leave a like, comment down below. You guys know the drill around here. And what's the last thing you always say? That's right. It's great to be in the Empire today.